Assuming my darkest form. Illusion technique. HUMSS. That's not Japanese. Konnichiwa. No, wait. No. It's not konnichiwa. It's not. Konbanwa, minasan. Today, welcome to another English class. As you can see, I'm a lot more confident than I was yesterday, but still a little bit awkward as usual. But anyways, today we are still going to be discussing another topic. Yes! Yay, you've been waiting for this, another video of me humiliating myself in front of a lot of people. You like that, don't you? Okay, let's just get to it. I don't want to embarrass myself any longer. So, yeah, I'm a lot more confident than I was 20 hours and 37 minutes ago. And so today we are yet to explain as to the reason why we have to study another specific subject. Now you're probably wondering, why are we always asking why? We all want to know the reason as to why these things happen. We want to know the reasons as to why people do the things that they do. We always like to find reasons. We always like to ask the question, why? Why did you do this? What did I do to make you leave? What did I do to make you feel this way? What did I do to have you go away? And when there are no answers to our questions, it never really justifies the act. You know, if a person, for example, why do you want to break up with me? Why? I didn't really want to do this. Before this has to happen, I didn't really want to do this. I can't take it any longer. I don't know. I don't know what the reason why I'm breaking up with you. I don't know. Really, honestly, I don't know. I have no idea. Why am I even here in the first place? Why am I even in a relationship with you? I don't like you. But of course, the reason will always justify the act. Sometimes. And so this situation would be much better if the person actually said the reason as to why he broke up with the person, because that would be much easier and there would be no more conflictions, no more confusions, okay? Sorry this has to happen, but I'm tired. Tired of looking at your face. You remind me of my mom. I don't want to date my mom. So yeah, when there are actual reasons as to why a person wants to do this or that, then the person would be able to understand the reason as to why it happened and they would be able to accept it. Now, of course, if we're going to put this in another analogy besides relationship, those kinds of situations, if we put this in a business analogy or advertisement analogies, like for example, excuse me sir, would you like to buy? I wasn't done yet. I don't care what you say, I am in. Okay. Put that on my cart. Of course, this type of situation does not happen. This is super impossible. No one would like to buy something just out of the spot without knowing the reason. Oh, no, wait. No one likes to actually enter or join a certain organization or a certain organization or an event without actually knowing the reason as to why they have to do it. Like, what are the benefits of joining this job? What are the benefits of joining this organization? You have to know these things before you actually put yourself into that spot, because that's gonna be a lot of trouble for you. You might not know that you're actually secretly joining a cult, and you're going to be a human sacrifice. Yeah, so that's very dangerous. As a matter of fact, please don't. Please ask the reason. Please just ask the reasons as to why Asking the reason why, no, okay, that's redundancy. Asking the reason for certain things will actually help you to clarify a lot of things, a lot of stuff. Excuse me, sir. Would you like to join our company of um uh, output Kansas? And why would I like to enter or join this business of yours? Well, there are actually a lot of benefits if you joined our company. First of all, we are actually one of the biggest companies here in the country. Okay, second, we are actually our the CEO of the company is actually one of the most biggest actors in Hollywood, Keanu Reeves. Okay, another reason, um, we have actually like a dog daycare, so you don't have to leave your dog at home, so you just kind of put your dog there, and then a lot of other employees' dogs so they can play with one another. I think it would be really cute. Okay, our company pays good amount of money. We'll say no more. I'm in. So in that example itself, that clearly shows that the reasons are really important, or they play a very important role so that the persons will become interested or will actually um, do certain things. So in this example, if the student does not know why he or she should actually learn the subject, then what's the use? So this is the reason as to why it's really important that before we start the subject, we have to let our students know that this subject is really important and not just because it is actually a requirement, because just by doing that you are actually forcing the student or pressuring them into dealing with the subject, and that's not a very enjoyable experience, I would have to say, based on my experience. Reasons are the main aspect for a person's interest in actually doing something. Now, the reason absolutely matters, and this is the reason why I'm talking about this again. So now we are going to be talking about why we should actually study. I'm sorry for the background noise. My father is actually playing with my dog because my dog, because of my dog. Okay, so let's talk about the reasons as to why we should actually learn contemporary arts and creative writing. Now, you are also wondering why I'm actually mixing these two subjects. It's because they are actually specialized subjects in HUMSS, or humanities and social sciences. It's actually a specialization, and these are directed to my grade 12 students. So if you're watching this, then good for you. So I can explain just about everything. I can just explain just about everything, the importance of every subject except math. Math, I can never understand why we have to study that piece of crap. Why should we study math? We're never gonna use it in real life. What are we supposed to do? Calculate the seconds we're supposed to be crossing the street so we can actually get hit by a car? That sounds very familiar. Of course, this is a joke. Clearly, math is absolutely important, especially for STEM students, for those who took up STEM strand, because these people are aspiring to be engineers, architects, pilots. Do doctors use math? I guess so. Math, not meth. Do doctors use math? I think so. They actually use this subject, but I just really, really abhor this. So, yeah. Screw you, math. Let us now proceed. We are already 15 minutes in, and I have still not explained a single reason as to why we should study these subjects. Okay? So first of all, I want to discuss first about contemporary arts. So what is contemporary arts? Obviously, if you're going to again divide the terms, when we say contemporary, it means modern, and arts mean arts. Okay, so when we say contemporary arts, if we put these words together, these are what we call the modern arts, or the modern artworks produced in the second half of the 20th century or in the 21st century. So these are actually the artworks that we see today. clearly, why should we actually study about these things? Why do I want to know about the history of these artworks? Why should I study about the history of this polarium? Why should I study about this certain artwork? Well, the truth is, you see, people perceive art as just, like designs of the world, just flowery. But if it was actually like, if it actually played a role in theater, people would say it's like the flowers. They don't really possess any role. The truth is, no, the flowers in theater arts actually possess a huge role because they create the atmosphere. They create the story. Without these backgrounds, you won't even understand what's going on with the story because these backgrounds actually tell you a lot about the story. This gives you a more depth and more deeper meaning of the story. It gives you history. These arts actually represent meaning, they represent issues, they represent the society, and these are very quintessential in this world. I know that does not really make sense to you as of this moment, but I can give you a lot of reasons as to why art is a very quintessential skill to learn, or art is a very quintessential part of this world. So first of all, art inspires. That doesn't make sense to you, doesn't it? So art isn't just something we do. Look, if someone draws a human being, if someone draws an artwork, it doesn't mean that he or she is just drawing it or making it just because. There's always a reason as to why this artwork looks like this or this artwork looks like that. Because there is a meaning behind this. There is actually a story behind what he or she is making. Oh wow, that's a really good drawing. What inspired you? Would you date? Oh, okay. Number two, art is forgotten. You see, as a kid, when I would tell people that I wanted to become an artist, people would be like, "Oh, you're never gonna have a future if you want to become an artist. Artists don't earn that much." I guess that's true that artists don't earn that much, but you see, they don't actually earn that much money. But do you know what they actually earn a lot? Respect. Artists are the most respectable people in the community. The artists before our times, before the Spanish period, they actually created a lot of beautiful artworks. They represent how society was before. They represent how beautiful and how cruel the world was. These artworks aren't just displays, they tell story, they tell history. And that is the reason as to why we and that is the reason why we know these stories of what happened in the past. And it's because of the help of these artworks. You see, artworks doesn't just revolve around drawings or paintings. Artworks are also novels, books. Now the last reason as to why art and the last reason as to why we should learn contemporary arts is because art is life. And I don't need any explanation for that. That sentence itself describes everything you need to know about art. Art is the way of a person perceiving the world. It is someone's way of expression. It may also be some way for us to explore the world or our imagination. It exercises the imagination. It's a brain activity. It helps a lot. Art is life. Art represents life. Art is the representation of our lives. Now, let's proceed to creative writing. Now, it's still related, as a matter of fact. When we say creative writing, obviously, it only simply means that a person writing through his or her imagination. So creative writing actually helps students unleash their creative side and feel more comfortable when it comes to writing. As a matter of fact, creative writing also helps a student learn a lot about language, helps them to actually improve their grammatical structures, their vocabulary. Still another brain activity. So when you're doing creative writing, you're using your brain cells for this. Put your brain cells to good use, everybody. Put it to good use, okay? Now, if you're a very shy person and you probably don't want to talk, you can do writing. You prefer writing because, okay, a lot of socially awkward people can actually relate to this because these socially awkward people don't like to express their ideas verbally, so that's why they write. And when they write, it's just a whole meaning of the world to them. If you're someone who's socially awkward and doesn't want to express your ideas verbally, you can try first in writing your ideas. Just write down your ideas. After writing down your ideas, that's the time you start to say them. You know, practice the way you speak, practice pronouncing and the enunciation of words, because that will help you in boosting your confidence. Just look at a mirror and then try reading your ideas. It will help, I tell you. Creative writing brings out that once was a chick in a shell. Now, that's a chicken. You finally turned into a chicken and now you're flying. You're a flying chicken. Chickens don't fly, actually. I just realized it's scientifically impossible. But it's never imaginatively impossible. You can imagine chickens fly, and that's the power of the imagination. Make the world your canvas. It doesn't matter, okay? It doesn't matter that chickens can fly, scientifically proven that chickens can fly. But the point is, creative writing and contemporary arts brings you out of your shell and helps you grow implicitly. It's something that you will never ever notice, but it's something that goes on unconsciously. Art and writing should never be forced upon a person, because if you're going to force it on a person, they'll never learn. They'll never learn to love writing and arts. The love for writing and arts should come in naturally. And if it does so, if it comes in naturally, the output of these people will come out so beautifully. Truth is, writing is enjoyable, making arts is enjoyable, as long as it is not forced. It is not something that you tell your students, oh, do this or I will fail you in my subject. When you influence your students to do these things, make sure they're actually doing it by heart and not because they have to do it because of the deadline. If you actually encourage students to actually make it because, oh, it's actually the deadline, these outputs will be half-baked. These are not put into heart, and you will end up with a very disastrous output, and then you're the one who's mad because, oh, why have you submitted this output? This is not exactly what I'm expecting. How would you expect a really beautiful artwork if you forced them to make it? Have you ever did something that you were forced to do, and has it ever come out beautifully? No. How do you actually expect the students to learn or master the subject if you have not given them enough time to actually appreciate the subject itself? That's so ironic and so preposterous. The power in making the students learn how to do things, or in the power to actually make students do these activities, is to actually help them love the subject itself. Because if you're someone who actually hates mathematics like me, but there was a time in my life where I actually did like mathematics, how can I not pronounce that? Mathematics. Yeah, there was a time in my life where I actually did like mathematics, and that was during college, because this teacher actually showed compassion in teaching the subject. And when she knows that the students are struggling, she gives them reason as to why they should learn it. You know, I don't know how to explain it, but this teacher was motivating us to actually learn the subject, and that's the time when I actually learned to appreciate math a bit. And that was the only one. That was the only time I actually did appreciate math. I still abhor math to the highest level there is, the highest boiling point, even hotter than lava, hotter than the core of the earth. I still abhor it. Because love conquers all. This is where we put that quote in. Love conquers all. If you love what you are, if you don't know what, if you actually are beginning in doing something, but then if a person actually helps you love this certain thing, it's much easier to learn things when you actually love them. So yeah, this was actually a lot more serious video than I expected. I did it. See, I told you I could actually make a very pretty serious video, even if I did not intend to. Anyways, yeah, I hope that you actually enjoyed that, and hope you learned something, because I guess I did a bit, and I think that's progress, because I finally learned something from what I'm saying. That's a lot of progress right there, and I hope you guys did as well. So yeah. Anyways, that would be all, and adios.
多重影分身の術